Okay, so the first thing you may want to do when you get your initial image is bring your depth out a little bit so that you can get an overview of the whole abdomen. If you were doing a pregnancy scan, this would enable you to spot the gestation sacs, and once you've seen one that you want to look at in detail, you can then reduce your depth so that you can look at it more closely. So that's your depth. It's a knob on the far right. Another very important control is your gain, and that's here on the left, also a knob. You just twist that. If I bring it this way, you'll see that the image gets brighter. And if I turn it anti-clockwise, my image gets darker. When you've got a picture you like, you can freeze. And when you've done that, you can either save an image, which is right above the freeze button, or you can save a cine loop, which is the one above that, a little icon of a kind of a cinema reel. Press that, and it will take about 4 seconds, depending on how long your video is. My video clip of Doppler has been very long because it's going to save all 411 frames pretty much since I began scanning. So it is going to take probably about 10 seconds to save that much. But typically in a normal scan, it would only take a few seconds to save a relatively short clip. Once it's done that, it will tell you, and you will see the thumbnails on the right hand side. So that's my image and that's my video there. Just like on the standard ScanPad, you can double click them to review them. You can highlight one and delete or export, but I prefer to do that all at the end of the examination when it's safely ended, so I can't accidentally delete anything when I'm in the middle of a scan. Now, unlike the standard ScanPad, this is not a touch screen, so if you want to change any of these controls along here, you have to click the associated button below them. Another very important control is frequency. If I was scanning a very large dog and I needed better penetration, I might bring my frequency right down. Unlike the standard ScanPad, it's not touchscreen, so you press the corresponding arrows below whatever control you happen to be on at that time. So for frequency, the arrows are here underneath the word frequency, and that's how I adjust that. If you want to turn your harmonics on, simply keep going into the frequency range. Harmonics have now turned on, and you can go up through your harmonic range as well. If you want to get to the next page of options, again, just like the previous ScanPad, but instead of pressing that button, you press the corresponding circular button just below it. So press that, my options have now changed. And again, if I want to change any of those, I now just use the arrows that correspond to that particular control. So I want to change my grayscale map, I can just scroll through all the different maps using my arrows right here. If you like to enter client information, there's a little icon of a person down at the bottom left of your keyboard. Press that, and this is where you can enter name, breed information if you want to, birth date. If you wanted to switch to either of these tabs, you just use your tracker pad, move over and press your crosshair button. However, all of these things have their own keys, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And again, everything in this tab also has its own keys. You see you've got your save picture, save video, you've got those buttons here already. Measuring, you can also pre-save any parameters that you particularly like, so you can make your own presets if you want to, like a large dog, small dog preset, for example. Finally, this machine also has Doppler. Can't teach you every single function of Doppler in this short video. This is just a whiz through where the controls are on the machine. But if you want to have a little play with it yourself before you're in a situation where you need to use it, I would advise finding your carotid artery, and I would reduce the depth so that you can really get it nice and large on your screen so you can see it. Should be pulsatile. I've turned my harmonics on to really clear up the image as much as I possibly can. The near field is always going to be difficult for a microconvex probe. And when you can see it pulsing on the screen, press your D button. And you'll see you get a little gate here. That gate needs to be over the region you want to measure. This is not a good alignment for what we're doing, but this is just practice. This is just to show you how it works. In reality, you're going to be doing this in small animals and your alignment is not going to be parallel. So if I'm happy with that, I press D again. and that's my blood flow in my carotid artery. Things you would need to do to optimize this is to move your baseline, to optimize your scale. By turning your D knob up and down, you change your Doppler gain. But as I say, all of that's a little bit beyond the scope of this introductory video, but I would encourage you to play with it for now, and when you feel you're ready to learn more about Doppler, we can certainly go through that with you.